Exit Wounds is a 2007 graphic novel by the Israeli author Rutu Madan. Madan teaches comics and illustration at the Bezalel Academy of Art and Design in Jerusalem, and she lives in Tel Aviv with her family. Exit Wounds is our first full-length graphic novel, and it won the Eisner Award in 2008. It's about two young people. Kobe Franco is an embittered taxi driver who lives with his uncle and aunt. Naomi Herman is a member of the Israeli Defense Force, and she comes from a rich family. When the novel begins, the two haven't yet met, but Naomi contacts Kobe to tell him that Kobe's estranged father may have been the victim of a suicide bombing in Hadera. The situation is complicated, but not overly, by the fact that there was a bigger bombing in Haifa the day afterwards. It turns out that Naomi and Kobe's father were lovers. Neither is certain that he died in the blast, so they set off on a fractious mission to discover the truth. What follows is part detective story, part unfolding love story. Naomi is kind and considerate. Kobe is more or less the opposite. But the deeper they dig, the more it appears that Kobe is the way he is because of his father. In confirming and confronting that, he develops. The Kobe who begins the novel isn't nearly good enough for Naomi. By the end, the reader feels he might just about have a chance. Of course, it's not possible to discuss any graphic novel without mentioning the artwork. Douglas Waugh in the New York Times compared Madan's style to that of Hergé, the creator of the Tintin books. He went on to say, Madan's Israeli landscapes, coloured in flat, solid tones, capture the look of the country with spare precision. Often with a pacey graphic novel, one finds oneself lurching from speech bubble to speech bubble with minimum regard for the contextualizing pictures. To really appreciate the whole thing, it's a good idea to go back at the end just for the visual experience. This isn't a political novel by any means, but the conflict between the Israelis and the Palestinians is everywhere, and it conditions everyone's lives. From Naomi's gated mansion with killer dogs patrolling the grounds to Kobe's vituperative reaction to the Stop the Occupation protesters in Tel Aviv, and of course in the ever-present bombings. Exit Wounds is a very good example of how the modern graphic novel is able to handle multifaceted, grown-up storylines, complex characters, a large cast list and a subplot or two. How it can do virtually everything a good text-only novel can do, in other words.